So you're stuck. And it could be as a result of so many things. But one thing in particular might be unforgiveness. So, unforgiveness for so many reasons. One, from family members, for a friend who betrayed your trust, from a partner who walked out and you cheated on you, and as a result, you're not able to open yourself fully to any welcoming relationship. It could also be a friend who betrayed your trust, and where you put so much, importance on that person, and that person then betrayed and destroyed everything that you thought was what a friend should do. Whatever the reason is, you are stuck in this bubble, and every opportunity that you have, you rehash it, you speak about it, you talk to anyone who will listen, and every time somebody will say to you, you need to forgive, and you say, me, I will never forgive that person. I will never forgive that person. That person doesn't deserve my unforgiveness. Every other thing is every other motive is fueled by that unforgiveness and that reason to prove that person wrong, that reason to, try to become a better, or that person not having that, that control over you. And you see unforgiveness, or you see forgiveness as, a sign of weakness, as to say that, oh, if I ever forgive that person, then that makes me weak. That makes it okay that what that person done to me is okay. And in fact, it isn't. It's completely the opposite. Forgiving yourself and forgiving that person is the ability for you to be set free from that continuous story you keep on telling yourself, set free from the pain, the hurt, the trauma, set free from having to be a prisoner to this particular story, this particular event. It may happen 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. And because you keep on reliving it, you've created an idol for yourself. Because you keep on reliving it, you've created a stronghold in your mind. And what happens is then all the negative thoughts just are fueling it. And you become bitter. You become stuck. And you're not able to progress. And what I found to be true for myself is God can't bless something that is bitter. He can't bless unless once your hands are holding something. He can't bless anything unless you let go, unless you release that pain, unless you completely remove it and you start afresh. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing to do and the easiest thing to say. So but you have to do it. You have to be able to forgive in order for you to actually start the process and start a new life and go for what you actually deserve. It's not fair to be a prisoner to that person, and then that person's there living their life, having the best time of their life, and you're still there contemplating, memorizing, thinking, plotting, and always talking about them. They become the center of your world and your attention and the focus of every single thing that you do. And so for me, if I have any advice to give, is to forgive, let go, and start again. Really, for me, I feel like the best act of self-love is forgiveness. It's forgiving the people who have hurt you, who have betrayed you, who have insulted you, who have degraded you, who's stolen from you, who made you question your worth and compromised your self-dignity. Because harboring unforgiveness and keeping that pain and retelling that story and rehashing your story has now become a part of your identity, and you are now walking around as their own slave. I feel like as a slave with unforgiveness here, and you're just going along showing your pain to everyone and reopening up that wound and talking about it. True healing cannot come from it unless you close it up and take it to God. And in there, you begin to heal. If you say you love yourself, then you will stop telling that story. Change the narrative. And even if you have to tell that story, bless that person, bless your enemy, bless those who've done you wrong. I remember when a friend of mine told me that, you gain your power by blessing those that hurt you. There's so much strength in it. And at that time, I was stuck with a betrayal that I was facing, and that really hurt me. That person really dug into the core of me, and really, 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 I struggled with unforgiveness in that area. And once she told me that, you grow, or you are blessed by blessing your enemy. You bless those that hurt you and set them free. It was like an aha moment for me. It was something that just blew my mind, because that person, I at the time didn't believe that the person deserved any blessing. I actually, if I'm honest, I prayed for the person to fail. But once I started blessing the person, praying for that person to prosper, praying for the good thing to happen to that person, I started to feel free, and I started to wish well for them, and I released them. And then I wrote a letter to myself, and then I told myself how, I'm proud I am of myself, and I forgave myself. And then I was able to, to go forward and go and achieve so many other things. And when I achieved those things, it was no longer out of spite. I didn't become bitter anymore. I strive to become better. And I wish the same for you. I wish that this year you take time, as we're running off this forever long month of January, and we're going to the month of February, and it's regarded as a month of love. A love act, a self-love act is one where you actually put yourself first. Because let's be honest, if you're harboring around that story and you're going around in circle, you are no longer loving yourself. You're actually filling yourself with more toxicity, more negativity, harboring more evil thoughts, and going to check their Instagram feed or their Facebook feed and seeing if anything else has gone right. Or also, one other thing I wanted to say is that when you forgive and you forget, don't let that person back into your life. And if you do, and if that person's around you, or you can't get rid of that person, always keep a healthy distance. Because one thing I used to do when it comes, and that relates to, your ability to having low self-esteem, or the way in which you view yourself, you'd always go and take that person back, or go back to that situation after you've forgiven. When that person or that situation demeans you, reduce your self-worth, when you compromise your values and stuff, and you'd go back and you hope that this time would be different. This time the person would know your worth and stuff. And Maya Angelou always says that, once a person show you the true color the first time, believe them. Don't try to justify them. Don't try to say, oh, maybe this was a situation. No. Put a healthy barrier for yourself. Even if that's if the person is in your life. But if the person is not in your life, sis, baby girl, don't do it. Don't go back. Don't invite them back in your life. So you say, oh, well, when they come back, they're going to see how well I've done. They're going to miss me. Or don't do anything out of spite and say, you know what? I'm going to do it so that, he'll know me. He'll know my worth. He'll know that, he had a good thing and he's going to miss me. 9 times out of 10, he doesn't. He won't. And they won't. So if a person is a person that, it's shown you what their person's capable of doing, then that person has an own issue that they need to work out with. And it doesn't require you. And you can't heal a person. You're not God. And not trying to say, oh, well, he needs me or she needs me. And and they need me in their life to heal. They don't. No, they need God. So pray for them and let them go. Send them on their way. Because we like to go back to toxicity a lot of the time because of the reduced value we put on ourselves. We reduce the value that we have on ourselves. And so we allow so many things to happen to us. We allow so many, so many disrespect and so much things to occur. No, it's about time you place more worth on yourself, more value on yourself. And it's about time that you treat yourself the way in which you deserve to be treated. And that way you'll invite more people who would treat you in that way to your life. Unless you do that, you are not able, you're not ready to love, and you're not ready to accept anybody, be it friend, family, or relationship. Healthy boundaries, putting an effective value on yourself and treating yourself within that place, in that alignment, draws better or more, things to you. But disregarding yourself, allowing yourself to be disrespected time and time again, out of the reason of because you are lonely, because you don't value yourself, and you keep on making excuses for the people, it's just not on. It's just unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Value yourself more. You are precious in the sight of God. God values you so much that, He risked everything for you. So why are you putting yourself at a lower value than yourself? Why do you accept disrespect continuously and hoping for the person to change? Part of the reason why, you are still stuck is because you allow it to happen. Forgive him or her, forgive them, but don't go back. Remember, part of them say forget. Yes, forget, but learn the lesson. What is the lesson that person came to teach you? Maybe that you're too vulnerable. Maybe you're too trusting. Or maybe you don't read the signs. Or maybe, you do things too quickly in the haste and you don't take time to think. Maybe that person came to teach you patience. Maybe that person came to show you there's an area that you don't actually focus, or that to show you that you need to spend more time by yourself. I remember I used to hate being alone. I used to hate my own company. And so I used to rush into relationships that were just not for me. Friendship, I would just be always at my friend's house. I come from an African family. My mom used to be like, don't sleep at your friend's house. Leave your friends alone. Come and stay at her house. Tell your friends to come inside. Why would my friend come to my house? There's nothing here for them. Like, my house is not fun. Their house is fun. There's nothing different about my house to their house. But because I didn't value myself more, because I didn't put a value on myself, it was hard for anybody else to respect me. It was hard for anyone else to value me. So why would somebody else treat me any different than how I was treating myself? And so I took time to spend time with myself, appreciate myself, add value. There is a saying that says that, people don't pay for the time. They pay you for value. And I feel like that is the same in relationships, be it family or be it with colleagues, workplace, relationship. What value are you bringing to to that person's life? And knowing the value that you add on yourself is so vital, because then people are able to appreciate you more. If you treat yourself less than, you walk around slumped down, you walk around like you have no worth, you're nothing, people are going to treat you that way. But you have to be able to treat yourself with a worth that you are. Like, you are a queen, you're a king. How dare you treat yourself any less? How dare you minimize yourself? How dare you put yourself down? Like, do you know who you are? Do you know the potential you carry? You're just an amazing human being. And why are you letting anybody, I don't care what they have, I don't care who they are, I don't care what they own, and that you don't have yet, there's no reason to let anybody else treat you less than. It's about time you rightfully take your position in yourself, hold yourself within yourself, and tell yourself that you are worthy and treat yourself in that respect. Because once you start this new life and you forgive yourself and you've forgiven them, you are only going to accept the same rubbish if you don't change the way you see yourself, and that for me was vital. You have to change the way you see yourself. I refuse any disrespect. I teach people how to treat me. If you are allowing them to walk all over you and say it's fine, and they apologize, and then you come back and then you let them off. Because of what? Because of who? Because of what? Like, why? Do you know what I mean? I strongly believe that, and I feel the same thing for my daughters. Like, thank God he's given me queens. So I have learned through life that, you place a value on yourself and you demand the world to pay you according to that value. And it's the same thing. You put a value on yourself and you demand the world to treat you according to that value, no less than. Don't discount yourself for anybody. That's it. That's basically it. So, going off there, but I just wanted to say that it's something I feel passionate about. And I feel like so many people have lost their worth and do not understand how important and how precious they are. And they just allow things and circumstances to just mistreat them because of what? So, in closing, you have to be able to forgive the person who hurt you. And then you have to forgive yourself. But better than that, you have to place a value on yourself and demand the world to treat you according to that value. Never settle. And if you have to walk alone, it's better to walk alone than to be surrounded by people who do not value and respect you. Okay, until next time.